Good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk about property rental system. Our group member are Jawid, Naeb, Zada, Rahul Gujar, Samir, Vatsal Singh. Let's begin from introduction. Renting, also known as hiring or letting, is an agreement where a payment is made for the temporary use of a good, service, or a purpose. The purpose of this model is to provide detail to the user regarding how the rental system works. It It provides data on both the side of the system about the property types, locality, etc. Scope. The model deals with the data required in the property as type of a property, renting, and many more. This is a problem statement. Our company arranges rentals of properties owned by both private and business owners. We assign every property owner a unique owner number for identification. We record its address, the owner name, the owner email address, and the owner phone numbers. For a business owner, we record the type of its business. Each property is identified by a unique property number. We record its address and its type. For each property may be placed in several advertisements. Each such advertisement may be displayed in many newspapers on several dates. The newspapers are identified by unique names. The term rental refers to a private person or a business who sign a rental agreement for a property. Each such rental agreement is identified in our database by a unique rental number. We record the date of the signing of the rental agreement, the starting and ending and data of rental agreement. A renter can rent many properties. A renter prior to accepting the rental agreement may view the property repeatedly and we record the date of viewing. For each renter, we record its address, its name, its email address, and phone number. Each renter has a unique renter number in our database. Our agency is organized into branches, and every staff member is allocated to exactly one branch. Each branch has one manager who is a member of the staff. In our database, we identify the staff by a unique staff number. For each staff member, we record address, name, email address, phone number, sex, position, and salary. Each property is in care of one of our branches. Each renter refers to the branches that is in care of the property it rents. Each property is owned by a unique staff member. Each branch has an address, phone number, and a unique branch number. This is ER diagram. ER diagram help to explain the logical structure of a database. There are six entities: property. One is a property owner, renter, rental agreement, staff, branch. An entity in database is a real-world object that has certain properties called attribute that define the nature of the entity. Each entity has some attribute. An attribute refers to a database company such as a table. It also refers to a database field. Attribute describe the instances in the column of a database. Property has some attribute. One is the address, property number, type. Each entity relationship with another entity. Many property owns to one property owner. One property owner owns multiple property. Property owner has some attribute: address, name, owner number, email address, phone number, type. Yeah, this is and there are address and name are composite attribute. Money property view money renter. Money renter view multiple property. This is money to money. Renter rents multiple property. Multiple property rents to one renter. It's one to money, money to one. Here, renter also has some attribute: address, name, renter number, email address, phone number. Renter sign rental agreement. Rental agreement has renter number, signing date, ending date, starting date. Property under branch. Branch has some attribute address, phone number, manager, rank number. Branch allocates to multiple staff. There are some attribute email address, phone number, address, staff number, salary, name. Staff number is key attribute.
Hello everyone. Today we will be talking about EER, which also stands for Extended ER. So let's talk about first what is EER. EER is a high-level data model that incorporates the extensions to the original ER model. Enhanced ER are high-level models that represent the requirements and complexities of complex databases. And talking about the ER, there are three features of ER, which are as follows: generalization, specialization, and aggregations. Now we are going to talk about the ER diagram that we do. As you can see, the person entity here shows relationship between the renter, property owners, staff, and the property. As you can see, there are many branches to the property and as follows: to the renter and the staff. The person entity has many attributes such as email address, phone number, name, and so on. The person entity subsets are renter, property owner, staff. This shine shows that these are the subsets of the following entity. As you can see, the renter and staff entities have a bottom-up and top-down approaches respectively. Talking about the renter entity has an attribute which is renter number, that is a primary key in this one, which shows entity relationship between the rental agreement, that is relationship is 1-to-1. The rental agreement has attributes rental number, signing date, ending date, and starting date. In this also the rental number is a primary key. Moving on to the renter key. The renter key shows a relationship with the properties as the rents. Rents relation is 1-to-many. Property entity has many attributes such as phone number, email address. Address can be street number, city, province. And property entity has subsets such as farm, apartment, room. Now, same as the staff entity which has attributes as staff number, sex, salary. Here the staff number is the primary key. The staff entity shows relation to the branch, which relations has like lots to. This relation is many to one. The relation can be shown from the property as to the newspaper about the advertisement of the property. The advertise shows that the date and the advertise number has attributes. Advertisement number can be primary key, and newspaper in the newspaper relation, the paper name is the entity.
Hello everyone. Now we'll discuss about schema of our project. Here we have total 9 entities and we'll go through them one by one. So first entity we are discussing is renters, which has renter number as primary key, first name, last name, email, phone, house number, city, and rental number, which is acting as a foreign key, which is taking reference from rental agreement's primary key, which is rental number. Let's now talk about another entity, which is properties. Now property has property number as primary key, house number, city, property type, rental number, which is acting as a foreign key and which is taking reference from renter's table. Then we have owner number, which is also acting as a foreign key and taking reference from owner number from property owners. Then we have branch number, which is also a foreign key which taking reference from branches. So rental number here means the person who rents this property, and owner number simply means the owner of the property, and branch number means under which branch this particular property is. Now we'll talk about another entity, which is property owners, which has owner number as a primary key, first name, last name, email, phone number, house number, city. Now we'll talk about views entity, which has renter number as a foreign key, which is taking reference from renters table, and then we have property number also as a foreign key, which is taking reference from properties table. So now this is actually many to many relationships, since a renter can view any property. Now we'll talk about another entity, which is newspaper. Newspaper has only one attribute, paper name, as a primary key. Now we'll discuss about advertisements entity, which has paper name as a foreign key, which is taking reference from newspapers entity. Then we have property number acting as a foreign key, which is taking reference from property entity. Then we have add date. So this is a many-to-many relationship, since a property can be placed as an ad in newspaper. Now we'll look to another entity, which is branches, which has branch number as a primary key, email, phone, house number, city, manager. Then we have staffs as an entity, which has staff number as a primary key, first name, last name, email, phone, house number, city, sex, salary, and branch number. Now here branch number is acting as a foreign key, which is taking reference from branches entity. So now we'll look through code for creating tables that we saw in a schema. Here I've used command create table name, that is rental agreement. Then here we have attributes and their data types with some constraint. We have created renters table, property owners with their following attributes, and so on. Now we will see the code for inserting data into tables that we saw in the schema. Here I have used insert into table name, which is rental agreement, the column name or attribute in which data we are inserting. Then here is the value or set of data that we are inserting here. These are the signing date, starting and ending date. So in the same way, I have inserted data into all the other tables like renters, property owners, newspaper, and so on.
Now we will be discussing the queries part. So the first query is how many rental agreements are signed after year 2020. For this query, select star from rental agreements where signing date is greater than 2020. On executing this query, we get the output as the rental number 456. These rental agreements are signed after the year 2020. Now the second query is how many males and females work in branch number 2 and the average salary of their employees. For this query, select sex, count sex, average salary from select star from staffs where branch number is equal to 2 and group by sex. On executing this query, we get the output. The average salary of the males are 24,250 and the average salary of females are 26,000. The third query is find out the third highest paid employee. For this query, select first name, last name, salary from staffs S1 where 2 is equal to select count distinct salary from staffs S2 where S2 salary is greater than S1 salary. On executing this query, we get the third highest paid employee from the database. Now the fourth query is find out the property number of properties which are signed after year 2015 and whose owners belongs to Sonipat city. For this query, select property number from properties where rental number in select rental number from renters where rental number in select rental number from rental agreements where signing date is greater than 2015 and owner number in select owner number from property owners where city is equal to Sonipat. On executing this query, we get the output as property number 3. That means that property number 3, we get the output as the property number 3. That means the owner of the property number 3 is belong to Sonipat and the property was signed after the year 2015. Now the fifth query is give property number of properties which are in Sonipat and their advertisements are made in Dainik Bhaskar newspaper. For this query, select property number, city from properties where city is equal to Sonipat and property type is equal to 5 BHK and property number in select property number from advertisements where paper name is equal to Dainik Bhaskar. On executing this query, we get the output as the property number 6. Thank you.